What kind of car show celebrates rust instead of shine? Where dents tell stories, and perfection is actually frowned upon? Why are people pouring thousands of dollars into machines that look like they were dragged out of a junkyard, yet turn more heads than a brand new supercar? Who are the builders behind these wild creations hid and deep in the backroads of Tennessee? And what happens when raw horsepower, pure creativity, and zero rules collide in one place? This is the Backwoods Classic Car Rumble, one of the most bizarre, raw, and unforgettable gatherings of classic American cars. Vintage muscle cars, rat rods, and custom-built machines you'll ever witness. You don't roll into a place like this expecting polish. You feel it before you even see it. The dust hanging in the air, the rumble of engines echoing through the trees. The smell of fuel and burned rubber mixing with that deep southern air. This isn't your typical car show with spotless paint jobs and velvet tropes. This is different. This is real. Out here, perfection doesn't matter. In fact, it almost feels unwelcome. Because at the Backwoods Rumble, the more raw your build looks, the more respect you earn. Rust isn't damage, it's character. Weld marks aren't mistakes, they're proof of work. Every scratch, every dent, every rough edge tells a story. And that's exactly what makes these classic American cars feel alive. Now, if you've never seen a rat rod up close, it'll mess with your expectations real quick. These aren't your polished vintage muscle cars restored to factory condition. No, rots are the rebels of the car world. Exposed engines, chopped frames, wild proportions, sometimes they look barely legal. And that's exactly the point. And just when you think you got it figured out, you don't. Because around the next corner, there's always something crazier waiting. A truck sitting so high it looks like it climbed out of a monster movie. Right next to a slammed hot rod scraping the ground like it's defying physics. You'll see skull-themed builds. Insane exhaust set up shooting flames. Engines sticking out like they're ready to break free. These aren't just vehicles, they're statements. Every single one of them feels like a piece of rolling art. But loud, aggressive, and completely unapologetic. And the sound the sound is something else. Engines roaring without restriction. Deep growls shaking the ground. Sudden revs that hit you in the chest before your ears even catch up. It's chaos, but the kind of chaos that makes you smile without even realizing it. This is where rare vintage car stories come to life. Not behind glass, not in museums, but out here in the dirt, where they belong. But here's the part most people don't expect. It's not really about the cars. It's about the people behind them. The guy who spent years building his dream ride in a small garage with basic tools. The friends who stayed up all night helping finish a project just in time for the show. The families walking around, kids staring wide-eyed at machines that look like they came straight out of a movie. Nobody's here to impress with money. They're here to show passion. You'll hear stories about engines rebuilt from scrap, parts found in random fields, ideas that started as jokes and somehow turned into fully running machines. These are the forgotten legends of us cars, not because they were factory-made icons, but because they were built by real people with real vision. And that's what makes this whole scene hit different. In a world chasing perfection, this place celebrates imperfection. In a world of mass production, this is pure individuality. In a world where everything feels controlled, this is freedom on four wheels. And just when the energy starts to settle its pikes again, someone fires up an engine that sounds like thunder tearing through the sky. A burnout starts, smoke pouring everywhere. Crowd stepping back, but nobody looking away. The ground vibrates, the air thickens. And for a moment, everything feels alive. This isn't just a car show. It's an experience. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and that's exactly why people keep coming back. Because events like this remind you what car culture used to feel like, and honestly what it should still be. No filters, no rules, just machines and the people who love them. And when you finally step away, ears ringing, clothes smelling like fuel, one thing sticks with you. These aren't just custom hot rods or vintage muscle cars. They're pieces of someone's identity. Built, not bought. Earned, not given. And if you want to see more legendary cars and their stories come to life, make sure you subscribe.